I didn't ask your permission to talk about this, but you're not going to fire me now. Um, my first real conversations with Skeeter started back in, it's not bad, Skeeter, back when I was a principal at Conroe High School. Because at that point, there's a lot of students there, and there's a lot of students there that are in need. And there happened to be a very special young lady that had a tough life, but had potential. And at that point, had a counselor there at Conroe High School by the name of Bonnie Hubert. And Bonnie came to me one day and she said, my husband and I have been praying over this, and we feel like that we need to get involved in the life of this young lady. And through that, Skeeter and Bonnie adopted a high school age student who does that, right? And she is a bonus daughter. She is the family. And now to see multiple grandkids in Skeeter's life because of that decision, and I share that story with you because you need to know the heart of this guy, because so much of what he does is behind the scenes that you never see, that I get to see firsthand. And that's one example, but there are many. One of the most pure-hearted and kind-hearted people I've ever met. I've joked and kidded with him before about he's the Boy Scout, because sometimes naive and just believes the whole world is perfect to his own detriment upon occasion, but just the most beautiful spirit and the definition of what I would call a good man. And his impact has been significant. So not only as a board member, it's hard to be the board president because you come in, you try to manage the meeting, at the same time you have a responsibility to vote and do all the things, and for him to tackle this over these last few years is been a difficult thing to do, and yet he's done it with grace and with class, and I'm just really proud of him. I'm really proud to know him. So congratulations, Mr. Skeeter Hubert. So, all right. And then so there's this. And then, because the president's job is hard, we have a commemorative gavel for you as well for having served as the president. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that service indeed. So
Thank you. Thank you. I'll try this gavel at home, but I don't think it's going to have the same reaction. Thank you for that. I did write a few things down, because if I don't, I get long-winded and we don't have time for all that stuff. So, but I wasn't expecting that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. There are some people that I certainly want to thank. It's been a lot of fun. It's been 10 years, and it's really grown on me, this being able to serve in this position and getting to know you on your campuses and out and about and just the different activities. But I can't do any of this stuff without the love of my family, my sweet wife Bonnie, who she says, "What do you want to do?" And I tell her, and she says, "Okay, let's get to it." She's an amazing woman, and my kids, the things that they have to witness and see and hear about their dad. They're wonderful people, and I love them dearly, and I miss them. We're empty nesters now. I'm not used to that yet, but I love my family. Back in 2014, 2015, I was considering, I wanted to be more involved. I was serving on some nonprofits, and a very close friend of ours, Nelda Blair, you may know her. Many of you teachers probably know her for her advocacy for teachers. She approached me. She said, you ought to consider running for school board. And I said, I'm not a teacher. I don't know much about I don't have that gift. You know, I've joked about the times when I'm helping my kids with their homework, and Bonnie says, just leave. I got this. I got this. But she encouraged me to do it, and I thought about it, and I said, you know, I would like to do this, and had no idea that within 6 months or so, I would love it as much as I did. It was great. So I wanted to say thank you to Jim and Nelda for their encouragement and support in encouraging me to do this as well. So once I got here, if you recall, I was just a regular board member, very similar to what a lot of you are. Is we're just a board member trying to soak it in and learn, what to do. And so I talked to parents, I talked to teachers, I talked to administrators, and I talked to the superintendent. And I want to share with you some of the things that I learned. I need to learn, excuse me, my role and what we were supposed to do. And I learned that we needed to be an advocate for the community, an advocate for finance, because that's probably the two most important things we do, is balance the budget and set the tax rate. So never forget that, right? We have to do those things. And then help the students to achieve success. But most importantly, it's a position of service. So in order to really learn my role, I felt like I needed to go back to the greatest person that I know that ever gave service, which is Jesus Christ. So I went and studied and the things that he taught about love thy neighbor. And what's the best way to love thy neighbor is to learn and to serve. And when you learn and you serve, you learn to love thy neighbor, and you love God's children. And so those are the things that I did. And so this is what I learned through that. First and foremost, I learned that the administrators make decisions based on student outcome. Every decision that was ever made while I was involved had to do with, do the children of this district benefit, and will it help them achieve success for them? And so for Dr. Knoll and Dr. Stockton before him and your entire leadership team, I want to thank you for always having these students in mind. Our role is to the taxpayers, your role is the students, and working together in that team of 8 you talked about, we were able to achieve a lot of those things. So I'm grateful for that. The second thing that I learned is our teachers love their students. One of the things that Stacy Chase talked about was one of her favorite things was doing ambassador awards, and I got to admit that's one of my favorite things as well. And so those of you who don't know what those are, the ambassador awards is each campus gets to pick 3 people on their campus that really exemplify what it means to be a student or a teacher or a paraprofessional at their campus, right? And so we, as the board members, were fortunate enough to be the ones that would go on the campuses and give these awards out. And it was so much fun because everybody's trying to be secretive and everybody's trying to walk in, and the principals are excited, and the friends that know, and you got the kids, parents in the hallways, and it's just a lot of fun. But I will tell you that there was one ambassador award that will stick with me forever. And we were at an elementary school, and as I'm reading the bio of this teacher that was going to be giving we were going to giving an ambassador award to, I found out that one of the reasons that this campus had selected her to be the ambassador is because she had spent time getting to know her students and found out that one of her students' parents was dying of cancer. And she made a quilt with that young man's parents on it. All along, her husband was struggling with the same illness. And that struck a chord in me and really strengthened my belief in you teachers of how you go above and beyond to get to know these students and love these students and make sure that they're successful in what they do. And I thank you for that. Thank you for who you are and what you do. That's what I mean when I say that, because I say that quite a bit. Thank you for who you are and what you do. It's that memory in my mind is why I'm saying what I'm saying. So I wanted to share that with you. The third thing I learned is that our community loves this district. so many people come and say, "Oh, you work for the school district." No, I don't work for the district. I'm not that fortunate. I'm not that good. I serve on the school board. Well, we moved here for the schools. We moved here for the schools. I hear that all the time. I have never heard anybody say, "We moved out of there because of the schools." It's always the other way around. So for you teachers and you administrators, I want you to know that this district, these families that are in this district, they love you and they appreciate how you go above and beyond. Very grateful to be a part of this district. Very grateful to be a part of the story and the history that has happened during this time. So what am I going to do now? A lot of people have asked me that, and so as I take my badge off, I do put on another badge, which I have been asked to be a communication specialist for our church. So I'm really excited about that. And so you will see me. Thank you. I'm not going away. I am going to be around and about, and I will continue to pray for you guys. And I still believe that the brighter days are ahead for this district. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Conroe.
Are you jumping the gun up here?